What's up?
Today, fan fave Shubham and Sammie take us inside the circle. Love and hip-hop star Yandy dishes on her New York castmates.
It's much easier to get you off her neck and start something new.
And stand-up Ryan Niemiller tells us his plan to win AGT the Champions.
Like, having these arms is the one thing I have in common with a woman with huge boobs, just people struggling to make eye contact as they talk to you.
This is your reality check.
Did y'all hear that? I think I almost farted.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm Daryn Carp, and joining me is the always beautiful People.com writer Jodi Guglielmi. Back for more, eh?
You flatter me.
Well, I'm just gonna compliment you so you keep coming back. So
Yeah.
today was beautiful. Tomorrow will be gorgeous.
Stunning, breathtaking.
Are you ready to get
I
into
like
our
it
top
all.
5?
Yes.
Let's go, beautiful. At number 5. Miss Universe 2017 Demi Lee Nell Peters had a clear image of what she wanted to wear when she married former NFL quarterback Tim Tebow. The reality star told People exclusively, being in the fashion industry and being a girl who has dreamed about this day since I was 3, I had this planned out a long time ago. She went on to explain that she tried on approximately 50 designs, fits, and silhouettes, opting for a clean, sleek, elegant, off-the-shoulder dress for her ceremony and a more modern and sensual look for the reception. For more on this story and more exclusive photos, visit People.com. Are you one of those girls that's dreamed about this since you were like 2, trying on 50 silhouettes?
No, I have to be honest. I actually have never thought about the details of a future wedding. That's like not who I am.
Yeah.
And trying on 50 dresses sounds like horrendous torture.
I don't think I've tried on 50 dresses in my life.
No, but she looked gorgeous.
No, I mean, absolutely. At number 4, Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani's new duet finally gets a visual. Just days before their upcoming Grammys performance, the couple released the music video for the track, Nobody But You, from his recently released album, Fully Loaded, God's Country. The video features clips of the couple spending time together and cuddling on their couch with their dog, Betty. Shelton says the love song really fits his story and shared that he thinks it's magic. Are you excited for their performance? Are you fans of theirs?
I am. I love them so much. Whenever they're together, you can just see their chemistry and how much they love each other. So, I mean, you're literally watching a love story whenever they perform.
Well said, and that dog Betty is so cute.
So cute.
At number 3, Nicolas Cage and Kesha are big fans of each other. In a recent USA Today interview promoting his upcoming movie, Color Out of Space, the actor talked about meeting Kesha at the Los Angeles premiere of the film, saying, "Kesha is a great lady, and we had a lot of fun." The pop star also shared a video of her meeting Cage on the red carpet and sharing a hug, captioning the post, "Meet your idols." How cool is this? Is there anyone that you've always wanted to meet that you would just drop dead about meeting?
Yeah, Eminem.
Really?
I would pass out. Like, I would have no chill. And by pass out, I mean physically hit the floor.
Did you like his new album?
Yeah, of course. I happened to be awake at midnight when he dropped it, and I was screaming in my apartment. Like, people probably thought something bad was happening.
Jodi,
but it was just Eminem.
I'm concerned for you.
Yeah,
And at
we all
number
are.
2, the Jonas Brothers get tipsy with Seth Meyers on the day drinking segment of his late night show. The host and his brothers joined the Joe Bros for a round of drinks and games at the Palm Shuffleboard Club in Brooklyn. After becoming visibly intoxicated, the Jonas Brothers were challenged to create a pop song with a topic drawn out of a hat. The brothers, hilariously intoxicated, gave an exceptional performance about being in bed by 9. Who would you want to see Seth day drink with?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably somebody, yeah. That would be really good. I was also going to say, like, Cardi B would be really funny as well.
Cardi B, day drinking, not day drinking, I'm in.
Yeah.
Sober, I'm in for Cardi B. And at number 1, ever since Aaron Hernandez was found dead in his prison cell in 2017, questions have arisen about his relationship with former fiancée Cheyenne Jenkins Hernandez. Days before he died, allegations arose that Aaron had multiple relationships with men, but a source close to the former football player tells People that Shay was the love of his life, saying Aaron was attracted to men, but the relationship that he had with her was 100% genuine. He loved her and thought of her as his soulmate. Have you watched this Netflix documentary yet? It seems crazy. I mean, I've seen a bunch of stuff about it, but What are your thoughts?
I have. I watched it right when it came out. I learned a lot. I wasn't very up to date on the Aaron Hernandez stuff, so a lot of it was new to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fascinating. It's so well done.
I mean, the truth of the matter is like someone who has followed this case, like think of all the pressure he felt and the toxic masculinity that's in NFL. Like even if he wasn't a man, he probably couldn't express it just the way that the culture is.
I know, and it is totally possible for him to have had relationships with men and her still be the love of his life.
Right, like it's fluid, people.
Yeah.
It's a spectrum. Well, before I let you go, I actually want to get your take on this story because it seems like breakfast is a family affair at the Kardashian-West household, and like any family with young kids, things can get a little hectic. On Wednesday, both Kanye and Kim shared snapshots of their entire brood gathered around the table for the first meal of the day. The reality star captioned the post, "Morning Madness," and little sis Chloe commented, "This is bliss." I mean, how cute. This is like the Last Supper.
I know, and we actually rarely see them all in one photo together, so I kind of loved it. It's like, I mean, obviously we have Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but it was like a snapshot literally into their life.
Yeah, I will take breakfast in that madness.
Yeah, where's my invitation?
I mean, and look at what she's wearing. Like, I know, can I come in sweats to their breakfast?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. Well, Jodi, as always, thank you so much for talking to me. It was a pleasure. We have to go to a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be getting down in the DMs with Sammie from The Circle. Don't go anywhere.
No way. No way. Give me love. You're so handsome.
How are you?
Good.
Sammie, what's up?
I've been waiting for this. Oh my God.
I love this show. Welcome back. Joining me via Circle Chat is the Circle's very own Delco gal. Sammie, how are you?
Hi.
Is it a compliment to call someone a Delco gal?
No.
Then she's not a Delco gal. What was it like when you finally got to meet your Circle mates face to face? Were you nervous at all?
No. I mean, yeah. I was nervous like right before walking into the room. But the whole entire like time while I was getting ready and just doing my hair and doing my makeup, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait. But right before walking in, yeah, I was super, super nervous. But it was an amazing, amazing experience.
Yeah, I could see your genuine reaction, obviously running into Shubham's arms. You know, almost everyone was genuinely who they said that they were, except for Rebecca, AKA Seaburn. Did you see that coming at all?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was totally prepared for Rebecca not to be Rebecca. I wasn't expecting that it was going to be a guy. Like that wouldn't have crossed my mind. But I wasn't expecting Rebecca to be Rebecca. And of course, I still had, little inklings about everyone. I didn't really know if anybody was real at that point. And Shubham was one of the first people that I thought was going to be a catfish. But when I saw that Rebecca was Seaburn, I was like, oh, Jesus. Like, I kind of knew.
Well, I love Shubham's reaction to finding out Seaburn wasn't Rebecca. Joey was here last week, and he said he thought Shuby did actually fall for Rebecca, a.k.a. Seaburn. What do you think?
I said the same exact thing. Even if you watch when we're all sitting there, I look at everybody when we're all talking about it. I look at Shubham, I'm like, aren't you, like, in love with her? Like, weren't you in love with her or something?
And did he brush it off? Did he try and play cool?
He just laughed. He was like, no. She's like my sister. I'm like, no. He liked her.
Poor Shuby. You all seem like such a tight-knit group. What was your favorite group chat moment?
Ooh, my favorite group chat moment. That's hard. There's honestly so many that I really can't even, probably when Ed came in, that would probably be my favorite one because we had so much in common and everyone noticed that we had so much in common. And so then, and then Joey had things in common with Ed. So it kind of all tied together. That was probably my favorite.
When Ed came in, it felt like to me that was your first piece of home. Like you seemed sort of like, I don't know, reverting back to just like a really good place. Like you seemed at peace and that was really nice to see. Like you just kind of opened up and it was great. And one of the biggest moments of the season was when Sean revealed who she really was. So let's watch that.
Message, Chris, Rebecca, Sammie. Here is a photo of the real me.
My mouth is on the floor.
Oh, she's gorgeous. Are you kidding me?
So there was a good period of time when only Chris, Seaburn, and you knew who the real Sean was. How did it feel keeping that secret?
Having to keep the secret, well, it wasn't like I was like thinking about it, you know. I wasn't like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I have to keep this secret for Sean. It was more so just like it's not my information to tell.
Right. Did you think that Sean would get such positive feedback as she had gotten?
Yeah, I mean, none of us could. Why would any of us be mean to her about it or like give her negative feedback? You know, like she literally just told us so much about herself. So all we, or at least me, and knowing how Seaburn and Chris are, like we're just very accepting people, just the same as pretty much all of us on the show. But it was, you know, I was kind of nervous for her because I was like, okay, she just told us this, but at the same time, they had been getting rid of each person that they suspected to be a catfish. And yeah, even though we had made connections with Sean and she told us something big, it was kind of like, okay, well, we all came here being ourselves, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what makes the game so interesting. And during it, you were a huge hit with the boys in the circle. Your PA bro, Ed, as you said, was one of them, and he gave you quite a shock. Let's take a look at that.
When I was talking to you, like, most of the time, like, it was really me. Part of the time, like, it kind of wasn't me. You get what I'm saying with this?
No.
Yo, Eddie! I needed help. I brought my mom.
All right, let's be real for a second, Sammie. How weird was it when you found out he was half fishing and had his mom there with him?
I was so confused. But once he told me, like, oh, I brought my mom, my first instinct was, like, to be jealous. I'm like, damn, I wish I brought somebody from my family because my family's crazy. Like, my family's so fun. And I was like, damn, I wish I brought somebody from my family. But it was definitely strange, especially because I had Alana come to my room already. So I'm expecting just Ed. And then he's saying, like, oh, it wasn't me the whole time that you're talking to. And I'm like, okay, well, who else could it have been?
Did you think Ed was smooth in his talking in any sort of way?
No. Yeah. I don't think any of the guys are smooth in any of their talking.
That's accurate. I think the ladies had a better way with words. We know that you're in a relationship. Would you give Ed a shot if you were single?
No.
I love you so much. Someone else was a big fan of yours and wasn't afraid to say it. Let's watch.
Love Sammie. Real bitch. Okay. Funny, quirky, honest, bad bitch. Would take her on a date. Anyways,
All right, so have you slid in her DMs? And if so, where are you taking Kaylani on a date?
So we've definitely messaged about the show and just like we joke around a lot, but it's not anything serious. Oh. It's more so like we just like joke and think it's funny because the whole entire world, like Twitter, went nuts when she did that.
Oh my, I mean, we were going nuts. You know, Joey wasn't the only winner of the circle. You were a fan favorite with a $10,000 prize. Congratulations. What are you going to do with all that money?
I'm paying for school as much as possible. I'm not going to put all of it towards school, but I'm going to pay as much as I can to, you know, bring down student loans because I have like a mass amount of student loans that I have to pay.
Oh man, that is so real. You tweeted you couldn't wait for the cast to come to Miami. Has it happened yet? They're
coming the first week of February.
Like you guys better be on social media the entire thing. I need to know. Like,
so far it's me, Karen, Joey, Miranda, Sean, Antonio, Alana, and Tammy. We're still trying to get Ed and Bill to come. Shubham can't, Seaburn can't, Chris can't. And I think that's everybody. Oh, Alex and Gina, his wife, they're trying to come also.
Oh, good, Gina.
8 people.
Oh, that's amazing. You know, since being on the show and it being so popular, how have your students reacted to it?
Well, my kids are not, my clients don't know anything about it. I don't have like students. I just work one-on-one with kids. And right now I have two students, 2 clients right now. And one of them is nonverbal. So they're not really aware of like anything that's happening, either of the schools that I work in.
Well, you do really, really good work. I got to ask you lastly before I let you go, would you do another reality show? And if so, which one?
Oh, Lord. I've been asked this question so many times. And people keep telling me to look into Big Brother and Survivor and The Challenge. But I think I would have to do a show that's like engages me physically. I wouldn't ever go on like a reality dating show or anything like that, but I would definitely do the challenge or Big Brother, things like that.
You would kill it in the challenge. I am already putting my money on you, Sammie. Thank you so much for calling in today, and congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Can't wait to see more of you. Don't go anywhere because we have the one and only Shubham ready and waiting to chat with us. Circle, take us to break.
She was lying about her pictures. I just wish she came into it like that from the beginning. People here would not have judged her. Message at Sean, I'm really glad you are yourself 100% now, but I really wish you'd come in as yourself. Being yourself is always more than enough, period, send.
Welcome back to the show. I have another one of the Circle's fan favorites on the line. Shubham, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about you? Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being here. Now, I want to talk about that last clip because as we saw, you clearly weren't too happy about Sean being a catfish. What about that specifically made you feel a certain way?
You know, looking back, like it was my first impression of Sean because we didn't really have any conversations beforehand. So I was a little hurt that she was coming in differently. But the thing is that I was actually really positive for her and I was all for what she was trying to do. I wish going back in hindsight, I got to be more positive about that. But the only thing is it was my first impression of her. So that's why I had the reaction I did. In hindsight, I wish I could show more of the positivity I had for it. But yeah.
And you understand looking back now why she originally wanted to have this maybe, you know, more aesthetically pleasing by convention standards look to her, right?
Yeah, in a way, it's interesting because I think Sean and me actually have the same idea of what social media is. It was just we were doing two different ways of getting there. So I completely support and I understand where she was coming from, yeah.
Well, Sean wasn't the only one on the show at catfishing, as you found out at the face-to-face meeting.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's rewatch this clip.
There's someone coming in.
Shuby.
Joey?
Nope. Rebecca.
Shubes, I've watched the clip 4 million times. I'm sure you've watched it. What were you feeling in that moment? It was so genuine. Tell me about it. What was going through your head?
Well, the thing is, I was saying throughout the whole show, I was Sharky Shubham because I'm the catfish hunter. And then at the end, to have one of my two closest people be a catfish who I didn't suspect Rebecca the whole time. It was just like an out-of-body experience at that table. I couldn't feel anything. I just couldn't even fathom what was happening. It's like, whoa, you know?
It was genuine surprise on your part. You know, we heard you obviously ask if Seaburn was Joey. Did you low-key think that Joey was a catfish?
No, I didn't. So what happened is the game ended, right? And we were waiting, you know, and then you're just pondering, you know, you're thinking anyone could be. And I'm like, you know, Joey was the most honest, upfront guy. But what if he was a catfish? It's the perfect, you know, oxymoron. I never thought Joey was a catfish, but I thought Rebecca was the least likely to be a catfish. So when he said Shuby, I was like, Joey? And yeah.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was because he called you Shuby, and Joey from Jump was calling you Shuby.
Exactly.
Would you have been more or less surprised if it was Joey?
I would have been shocked if it was both of them, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, looking back, I thought Rebecca was the least likely to be a catfish. But yeah, it would have been a total shock for Joey as well. Like, yeah.
Well, I want to stick on Rebecca for a moment because your
Sure.
reaction to Seaburn being a catfish was a lot more understanding, I think, than it was for Sean. Why do you think that was?
You know, I've taken time to reflect upon it. The thing is, with me and Seaburn, what people don't realize is him and me were the most similar in the house, right? Or the circle. We liked Marvel. We love sword fighting. You know, we're both kind of like, we love that type of culture, like anime and stuff. So for me, we had built this whole genuine friendship, right? And it was this brother-sister pure thing. So by the time it ended and I saw him, you know, and he was explaining himself, I'm like, you know what? Everything was the same. Everything was like our brother-sister thing. It was all pure. The only difference was it was a guy instead of a girl. So what do I care? And then versus Sean, it was just my first impression of her. And looking back, I really did wish I could have expressed more of my positivity. I shouldn't have done that, and that was like a mistake. But, I grew from it. And by the end of the time, I was Sharky Shubham, the catfish hunter. But then I realized it doesn't matter, catfish, no fish. Everyone's trying to prove their own thing. Everyone's coming from a different walk of life. And, I grew a lot from the circle, so it's great, yeah.
Shuby, it's just us now. Are you sure it wasn't because you had a crush on Rebecca?
No, I'm telling you, like, I've told this so many times. It really was. It was just a brother-sister thing. And I know so many people think it was more, but it wasn't. I felt it. I was the one there. And, like, you can ask Seaburn, or, well, I guess, technically Rebecca or Seaburn. But, like, no, for me, I felt it. I knew what it was. And it was a brother-sister thing. Yeah.
I just want to make the love connection happen here. I'm just fishing for it. I'm sharking just like you are. Are you and Seaburn cool today? And have you met the real Rebecca?
I actually have. I have met the real Rebecca, and I've hung out with Seaburn. We were actually in LA. We were kicking it. I mean, me and Seaburn, we're going to be best friends for life, so more of that to come.
I love hearing it because you guys were, outside of the images and the pictures that we portray, you both were yourself, I think. Even though he was playing his girlfriend, he's still, I think, the Marvel thing and the bro thing. I mean, it still resonated. Now, initially on The Circle, you were rated pretty low during that first round, but then wound up being an influencer time and time again. What was that like for you?
I mean, I was so shocked to go from 8th to 1st. And when that happened, I just couldn't believe it. But I was just so happy because it felt like, the connections I was building, they were really real. But honestly, going to the hangout and sending people back to back, like I sent 4 people home. It was the worst feeling of The Circle. The fact that I had to keep sending people home and I was being put in a position where I had to make, decisions that were taking this opportunity for so many people, it sucked. And it was the worst feeling. The only good part of that was I got to protect the people, some of the people I cared about, so.
Honestly, you're so genuine. I think this is why you're a fan favorite. I mean, even Sia is a fan of yours, Shuby. She tweeted she loved you every step of the way. What was it like to see Sia come for you, man? Like, she loves you.
No, I mean, it's crazy. Like, the amount of positive reception I've got, people are so nice, and it means so much. And it's crazy, like, someone like Sia says that, like, it's just insane. Like, it's so cool. Yeah.
Well, it's wild for you because you, since the beginning, came on and say, like, I hate social media. I think it's the bane of my existence. It's like the biggest pandemic of the world. Did you start to understand the appeal of social media over the course of the show and maybe why people are so wrapped up in it?
Yeah, I definitely went on a journey with how I viewed social media. In the beginning, I was calling it social media, and I thought it was like the worst entity of our time. And don't get me wrong, since the show, like I do still see some of the cons, like, the addiction mechanisms. Like, I've seen it myself. I keep refreshing it. It's so addicting. And all the studies are saying conclusively it's bad for mental health. But I have grown, and I've seen there are a lot of positives to social media. You can reach out to people you'd never be able to connect to. You can build communities. You can raise awareness for charities. And, you can just express yourself. So, it's complicated. I've definitely seen there's more positives than I did before. So, yeah.
Well, I got to say, you are one of my favorites, and your relationship with your father is absolutely incredible. What is next for you, Shuby?
Yeah, no, I love my dad. He's the best. And what's next? I mean, I'm just taking it day by day. I'm going back to work, and I don't know. I mean, we'll see, I guess. I'll see. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the future. I always am. Taking it day by day, though.
What about a Seaburn Shuby spinoff? Like little Three's Company. Throw your dad in there.
Yeah, hey, I'm all for that. Any spinoff anyone wants to put, Seaburn, Joey, anyone, Chris, any of them, Sammie, I'll be there in a second. I'd love that spinoffs. Yeah.
We stand you, Shuby. Next time you're in New York, please hit me up. I gotta hang out with you. Thank you so much for chatting with me. That was so fun.
Yeah, that was so fun. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Shubes. You can binge watch The Circle on Netflix anytime. When we come back, we'll be talking to America's Got Talent star. Don't go anywhere.
Well, obviously, I have a disability. I think the technical term for it is being very handsome.
I don't know how many people can pinpoint the exact moment where everything changed for them. I can.
Welcome back. I'm so excited. My next guest is the very funny, boundary-breaking comedian Ryan Niemiller. Hey, how are you, Ryan?
Good, good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
You are hysterical. You're going to bring me some funniness today, I can tell. I mean, you killed it with your set last week. We were dying laughing. How did it feel when everyone was chanting golden buzzer?
It was a little bittersweet because obviously somebody had stolen the golden buzzer before that. But it is nice to know that I gave a performance that Howie would have given the golden buzzer. So, hey, I moved on, no harm, no foul. Now we just prepare for the semifinals.
I mean, what did you think of the praise from legendary Howie Mandel? I mean, was that a true moment for you? Was that like, oh my God, I feel like I've made it?
Oh, it's been wonderful, even throughout the whole, season 14 into Champions. I've been telling, friends and family this when they ask, I would have been heartbroken if Howie Mandel didn't like me.
Yeah.
Because he's a legend in stand-up comedy. So if he would have been like, you're not funny, Ryan, he's probably right because he knows what he's talking about.
Fair enough.
So
Who
for
do you
him
think
to have
is,
my back has been amazing.
Who do you think is the hardest judge, like hardest person to make laugh? If you make them laugh, you know that you're golden.
Well, Heidi Klum has a history of not really liking the stand-up comics over the years. So I'd be lying. I'm a pretty confident guy on stage. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't at least a little skeptical when I went up there. I was like, this could be a little weird. But hey, I even won her over. So
Yeah, absolutely right. You won us all over. Well, you took third place last summer on AGT, and now you're headed to the semifinals. Let's relive that moment from last week.
Ryan, you were really funny tonight, but I'm not a huge fan of comedy. But tonight I am a huge fan of comedy, and I'm gonna go with you, Ryan.
I mean, what was that moment like for you?
It's still a little surreal. Like, you would think, some people ask, like, oh, you've been on AGT, you just were on last season, and now you're on this. It's getting old hat, right? And I'm like, no, it's still an amazing feeling because, there's so much pressure, and AGT is such an odd, like, how do you compare stand-up versus a danger act versus a singer? So you just never know what's going to happen. So to have them want me to move on, I mean, it's still I get a little goosebumpy.
Yeah, I mean, what a good moment. I mean, speaking of which, a comedian has yet to win first place on any season of America's Got Talent. Why do you think, Mr. Confidence, it can be you?
Well, I mean, it has to happen eventually, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm a Chicago Cubs fan. They eventually won the World Series, so why can't a comedian eventually win? So, I think it could be me because, I mean, I've worked really hard for this, and I think I have a style of humor that connects to people on a real level. I'm not just up there talking about cats or, things like that. I'm talking about me. I'm connecting as me as a person, and I think people resonate with that. So, hey, why not me?
Hey, yeah, I agree with you. I hope it's going to take you sooner than the Cubs. I hope it takes less than 100 years for a comedian to win. I'm putting my money on you. Who would you say is your biggest competition right now that you see?
The biggest competition, I mean, they were my favorite act from season 14, but, The Unbeatable is tough to beat. Like, I watched their Golden Buzzer performance that Howie gave them. That should have been mine. I will remind people. But I got to know them really well over the season 14, and then in Vegas when I was out there. They are incredible, and they're going to be tough to beat. But again, it's just hard to tell. You don't know what's coming from. This is not just America's Got Talent All-Stars. This is Got Talent from around the world All-Stars. So anything can happen, really.
Yeah, this is the best of the best. I mean, what's interesting about you is you're a stand-up comic, and most people get their, chops basically performing in front of their family, and then 2 to 3 people, and then 50 people and more. I mean, going back to last year, what was your motivation to just initially compete on AGT? Like, why that huge stage for you?
AGT was the route that I wanted to go because I think having a disability like I have, part of what was going to help me was being able to connect my story. So getting something like late night is a dream of mine. But if I get late night, you go up there for 3-4 minutes, you do your set, you move on with your life. AGT is great because not only do you get to show what you have talent-wise, but you also get to show who you are as a person and connect. And I think having such a noticeable disability that people are going to be a little, standoffish about the start, being able to kind of talk my way through that and connect past that, AGT was a no-brainer for me. And I've had friends that have done it in the past. You know, Samuel J. Comroe, who was on season 13 and got 4th place. He's one of my best friends in the world. So kind of seeing what it did for him and how it changed his life and how it let him get that platform as well, I was like, this is the path I want to go.
Well, it's very smart. I mean, in your intro package last week, it was just hugely inspirational. And I want to play a clip from that right now.
Before America's Got Talent, you know, I was the starving artist, driving 12 hours to get to a show that I was barely making, you know, $200-300 on. Now, instead of me driving 5 hours, like, I'm having fans drive 5 hours to come see me.
I mean, even that last moment, I think, just shows, you know, the juxtaposition of how your life has changed. But can you tell us a little bit more about how this whole experience has changed your life?
Oh, I've been joking when I say it, but I'm a 13-year overnight sensation. That's basically how this has worked. You know, because telling those stories, that's 100% true. You know, to make it in comedy, it's a very expensive hobby for a while. You put more into it than you get back. You drive these incredibly long times just to get the stage time and just hope. You know, my career is littered with shows, you know, in a dive bar in the middle of Kentucky for 3 career drunks who don't even know it's comedy night and won't let us turn the TVs off. Like, that's kind of how I cut my teeth. Like, I didn't just decide, hey, I'm pretty funny, I'm going to go on TV now.
Of course.
You know, there's so much more to it than that. So now the fact that, like, that I've kind of quote unquote made it and I get to do these kind of better gigs, I am so appreciative. I know none of this lasts forever, so I'm running with the ball while I have it and just loving life. I'm forever grateful.
I mean, it's literally the world stage, so this has got to be such a good moment for you. What would you do if you win the whole thing?
If I won the whole thing, I'd celebrate that night and then I'd get back to work. You know, this is what I love to do. So regardless of what happens, you know, like, if I win, hey, maybe I can expand a little more globally. I would love to, you know, perform in Europe, perform in Australia, you know, things like that. I would love to just keep this going, but the world's stuck with me at this point. I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to deal with me always performing, because this is what I love to do.
Well, Ryan, even just that, I mean, it's so inspirational. We're glad to be stuck with you. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Good luck on everything. Catch America's Got Talent, The Champions, Monday nights at 8/7 Central on NBC. Up next, I'm going to play for you a cast on blast from last week with the one and only Yandy Smith-Harris from Love and Hip Hop New York. And she did not hold back. You're not going to want to miss this. Stay tuned.
I'm so tired of this bull.
You gotta calm down.
Nah, I'm not doing it.
What do you mean you're not doing this? Safari.
Mine and Sin's situation should be a point of contention for either of you. Why don't y'all mind y'all business?
My business is my friend's feelings. No, that's my business.
It's getting heated. Welcome back to the show. I'm still here with Yandy from VH1's Love and Hip Hop. How you holding up from everything?
I am holding up. It gets spicy.
It does get spicy. That preview looks spicy. What can you tell us about the rest of the season?
Well, you'll have to wait and see if Safari goes through with things.
Yes. He slammed that door. He was like, bye. I was like, okay.
I'm like, excuse me, you don't pay rent over here. Don't slam my door like that, okay? You'll have to see if my invite was an actual invite to the wedding, because it was kind of a
little shady.
So stay tuned. But yeah, you know, it's more of the let's drink some of the I Hate Yandy Kool-Aid.
I'm not drinking it.
From some people, not you.
Okay, good.
Some people that should have definitely added a little more sugar to it, make it taste a little better. But yeah, you gotta stay tuned.
Is Chrissy one of the people drinking Kool-Aid?
You have to stay and watch.
Oh, that face says yes to me. Well, we can't have you here and not do a little bit of hazing with you. And again, we're calling Cast on Blast. All right, get the spice mix out. I'm going to name some of your castmates, and I want you to tell me something sweet and something salty about them, okay? So don't hold back, especially with that salt, Yandy, all right? You ready to play?
I'm ready.
Let's start off with Jonathan.
Oh my gosh, I love Jonathan so much. Okay, so
What a well-groomed man.
he is what? He's fine, honey.
He is fine. He's
lucky.
well-groomed.
Listen, I got a few girls that are like, and they're like, he's like, no, I don't play for that team.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, got any fellas out there? He's fine. Okay, so Jonathan is so super loving, super passionate about his friends. I've never met someone that is so passionate about friendships. Like,
Love that.
You have a bad day, Jonathan is the first one to show up. You laugh, he is the first one cracking up, rolling on the floor at what you find funny too. Like, he's just passionate. When he considers you a friend, your worry is his worry, your hurt is his hurt, your laughter is his laughter.
He's very empathetic.
Oh my gosh.
What about the salt to him, though?
I think Jonathan gets misunderstood. I think that because he's passionate, sometimes that voice, that yelling and that screaming clouds what he's really trying to say. But he's such a good person at heart that I think he's misunderstood a lot of the times.
Fair enough. What about Juju?
Juju, I think Juju is I think she's beautiful. I think that she is this is the spicy. I think she's very calculated.
Manipulative?
I think she's calculated.
Okay.
I think she's calculated. I think like when we've had scenes and she'll say certain things, hurt her feelings, like saying, you're being secretive. Or why didn't you tell me about that? I wanted to be there for you. And then it'll be like a big 3-episode thing. And I'm like, girl.
She knows what she's doing.
I'm like, girl, you know that wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
Girl, you know you want to laugh about that when we leave the show.
Right, exactly.
So I'm like, all right, I'll sit here and act like it bothers you for the next 3 episodes.
Interesting. What about Rich Dollars?
Oh, Rich Dollars. Rich, I would say, is about his business. He's about his business.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, that's a good thing.
Okay, make it sure.
No, absolutely. Rich is absolutely about his business. He's doing his thing in the management side. Shady, I would say, Rich gets caught up with the ladies, man. He gets caught up. He does not have a good eye for picking out a woman for him. Now, the women might be good for other people.
Right.
Right? Because I think Erica's good for Safari, but she was not good for him. And I think that's it. He does not have a good eye to pick out his love interest.
He needs to be set up, not necessarily.
I think he goes for who's gonna give him the most drama.
Which is never a good recipe.
Which is never a good recipe.
Never a good recipe.
Exactly.
All right, what about Sin Santana?
Oh, Sin. She's like my baby girl. Sin has such an innocent spirit. Like, she just is carefree. She loves to laugh. She just loves life. And I love that about her. Yeah. She's a great mommy. Shady, let me think. Yo, Sin, when I tell you, she is the most hood, the most, yo, what up? What we going to do? Who's going, that is Sin all day. When I say gorgeous girl,
yeah.
But the minute it's time to turn it up, or the minute, matter of fact, the cameras go down, she's this. What up? What we doing? So when we hang out and there's no cameras, there's a totally relaxed Sin that you get.
Is there a certain Sin you like more, or you like both?
I love them both. I need a little bit of both from her.
Yeah.
She's super poised when we go out and we're around people. The minute there's no people around, the cameras are out, her hair comes down, and yo, Yandy, what's up? That comes out, okay? Real quick.
Wow. Well, what about Safari?
Oh, Safari. Safari's like, he's older than me, but he's like my little brother. He just has such a good spirit. He's just such a really good guy. He's another believer in people like me. He thinks that everyone is good. He thinks that everyone has good intentions, and I love that about him.
And how about Erica Mena?
Erica Mena. I think she is spicy. I think she is a gorgeous girl, and I think they balance each other out well.
So they're a good couple.
I think they balance each other out. I think that she is going to toughen him up and show him everybody ain't so good. Because I think she looks at people for the total package.
Yeah.
Like her, once you do her wrong one time, or once she feels like, something ain't right, she's good forever. He's the type to give you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chances. I think they will balance each other great.
She's not naive, and she'll teach him to be a little bit, not so trusting.
Absolutely.
What about Kimbella?
She has nice curls.
Okay. What? Give me something salty about her. I have a feeling you're not going to hold back on this one for me, Yandy.
Salty. I think that
She's nice girls.
I think that, you know, she jumped ship. I think that she does things for TV. I think she will sell her soul for $1. I think that, you know, whatever is hot for the right now, she's going to do because she thinks that's hot, but she doesn't think things all the way through. So you come up looking like not instead of like hot. But yeah, I think, you know, I just wish I could put her in like the Yandy School of Hard Knocks to rear her back in.
That's next season.
Next season on.
It's next season. We're going to rework it. All right, last but not least, Chrissy.
Chrissy, I feel like is very poised.
Yep.
I think she's poised. I think that she could be a little more mature in her kind of way she goes about relationships. Like, it's time to let things go, move on. You know, you don't have to put people down anymore. You don't have to act like someone's overseer or their mother. Just enjoy the moment, have fun. Like, take, like, I don't know what you call it. Like, let loose. Just be wild, be crazy, have a good time. Stop being so uptight.
Wow, Yandy, you didn't disappoint me at all. Before I let you go, I know you have a skincare line, Yell, and are working with the mayor of New Jersey and getting it into real estate. Tell us what you got going on. I'm a Jersey girl, so I support this.
Oh, great. So Yell Skincare, that is my baby. It has surpassed everything I thought it would be. It's a skincare line that is all natural and plant-based. And I really wanted to do something that catered to the woman like me. So we have a cleanser, a toner, skin-specific serum. So for oily skin, dry skin, normal combination skin. And then we have a moisturizer. And those are kind of the essential things you need just to have great skin like you and I have.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that.
And then real estate is something that I've been wanting to get into for a long time. My husband's been pushing me to do that. So I got this amazing opportunity to work with the mayor of Newark. And not only are we, you know, developing lots, we're also doing a program where we are helping the people of Newark, from like seniors in high school and their parents, learn everything there is from welding, construction, real estate. And then what we're doing is we're going to actually have them be employed by the developments that we're building up from the developers we have investing.
You are honestly an inspiration. I mean, I'm so happy you're a foster mom, and you know, it's just incredible. Like, you do such good work. You are so inspirational, Yandy. Thank you so much for playing Cast on Blast with us today. Be sure to catch Love and Hip Hop New York Mondays at 8 p.m. on VH1. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Wow, what a show today. Big thanks to Shubham, Sammie, Ryan, and of course, Jodi for the great conversation as always. Reality Check streams Monday through Thursday on Twitter at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you're following @People so you don't miss a thing. To wrap out this Wednesday show, here's a wild moment from reality TV history. I'm Daryn Carp, and that was your Reality Check.
She's not a Christian!
In this 2005 episode of Trading Spouses, Margaret returns home after spending her time with a new age family.
The entire house is dark-sided.
She said her whole house is...
She is dark-sided too!
In her righteous fury, Margaret shreds the $50,000 check she's supposed to be giving to the other family.
This is tainted. I don't want it. Whatever it is, it's tainted. Whatever it is you give it me, I give it up to God. I'm a God warrior.
And then turns her wrath on the poor innocent camera crew.
I want these crew members leaving. Get the hell out of my house. In Jesus' name, I pray.
Margaret's holy tantrum is one of the great moments in reality history. But we're not sure why she had to be so hard on the crew.
Take the money, take whatever you got, and get out of my house. In Jesus' name, I pray.